This is my first ever animation. And although it looks simple, there's actually quite a lot behind it. And in this video, I want to show you each step of the process, right from the start. Step 1.
In the first step, we want to quickly choose a subject or a topic so that we can get past this blank page syndrome. What I usually do is that I just stand up and start to look around. And our brain is quite good at spotting patterns like there, or this one. There seems to be many Aztec related objects in my mom's studio. So what I'm gonna do is to put them all together first so I can get a good look at them, keep the ones I need and get rid of what's useless. Limoni. Schifo. And the general rule to make it simple is that if you manage to collect 3 objects or more, then the topic is set in stone and there's no turning back. You've got to draw that topic. So we're gonna draw something Aztec. Let's figure out what it means though. And I always go to Pinterest for this. I just create a new board and I start collecting visual references that can give me a good idea of what kind of shapes and colors I should be using in my own art. And you often stumble on cool stuff and people that went through this process already, like these Aztec styles Pokemon. Blastoise, that's my generation. Okay, let's get back on track. Although, to be fair, I've seen this Pokeball on the belt before, so maybe Pokemons actually come from there. No, this guy was not a Pokemon trainer. Ooh, these are cool colors to use. Anyways, let's stop procrastinating, huh? Oh, Bowser. Mario. Now we're gonna use these references to dress up a character. You can invent your own or you can use an existing one. And I'm gonna use this cute little guy that I found on the thumbnail of another YouTube video on animation that I really recommend. Link in the description. But here's how I dressed up my character. I really love this playback feature of Procreate. It allows you to see step by step what you went through in your thinking process. It's really a great way to improve, to go back into your old drawings, especially when you're drawing from imagination, to see the steps that you've made in your constructions, and what you can improve in your process becomes way more apparent when you play it back with fresh eyes. And when I do this, I like to also nerd out about the topic that I'm drawing. Like, for example, the language of the Aztecs was the Nahuatl. And it has a lot of these words that end in atl, which actually means water, which is quite cool. So I decided to name the character MASSATL, or MASSATL, or with the Italian accent, MASSATL. Anyways, the reality is that drawing is quite an enriching hobby, because every time that you add something new to your visual library, you're also acquiring a whole set of meta-knowledge related to the new subject. And that stacks up over time as well. Anyways, it's done. Next step is to animate. And this is the simplest way to do it. Look closely, huh?
Whoa! MASSATL!
No, but seriously, animation is an extremely time-consuming activity, so before we spend the rest of the weekend making a 10-second animation, it's usually a good idea to get more emotionally invested, so that motivation is really high. So what I did is to draw a quick 2-page comic, so that MASSATL is more grounded into his own story. And here it is. It goes something like this. The prophecy is about to become reality. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, god of life, is too tired to watch over us. He's exhausted, and if he dies, all men will perish as well. For days, MASSATL has watched the best shamans try to brew a potion to save their god, but nothing seems to work. With a great difficulty, and to the surprise of all, Quetzalcoatl asks to summon MASSATL, because unknowingly, upon his travels, MASSATL has discovered the secret ingredient to limitless energy, the cure that will save humanity, the espresso. So you've got your coffee, and make sure that you have mixed socks as well, and let's start animating. First, we need to get back into Procreate, and we need to make sure that you've grouped together the layers of the items that you want to move independently later. Like I've grouped the eyes, and I've also grouped the feathers here, the feathers of the hat. Alright, cool. So now open Procreate and Procreate Dreams side by side like so. And we're gonna add a new project empty in Procreate Dreams, and we're gonna drag along our MASSATL from Procreate. Alright, cool. Now you can close Procreate, and here we're gonna hold on the track, and we're gonna convert the layers to tracks. This is where we get the benefits of the grouping of the layers that we've done in Procreate. Let me straighten you back up. Okay. Alright, so you can see here that we have a big group with inside all of the layers that are converted to tracks. And we also have groups within groups for the eyes and for the feathers. Fantastic. Alright, so what I want to do now is to move the legs so that I want them to be out from this big group, so that I can move the whole upper body from the waist up independently. And just drag it along here. Cats. MASSATL is dead. It's okay, so just undo and start over. Oh, wait, I can just bring the legs back in like so. Hey, MASSATL is alive again. Okay, cool, let's carry on. We can start moving stuff. So let's go in the group with the feathers on the hat. Let's select one and tap on this button there. So now it will record our movements. First we need to edit the anchor for the rotation. And let's put it there, right? And now we can go ahead and grab that gray corner. And as we start moving, nothing happens because I undid that button. So when that button is on, it's kind of recording basically the motion that you do. So here I'm doing little circles so that there's a easy in and easy out at the edges of the motions. And it creates all of those keyframes for you. Super convenient, it's much faster. So we can repeat the process for the other feathers. Voila! Hit done and flick the cursor back to the beginning of the timeline, and it will start to play automatically. And here we go, our feathered hat is moving. Satisfactions of life. Let's get hydrated, and next we're gonna do the eyes. Select the left eye, back to the beginning of the timeline, and we're gonna hit scale and move. And again, with that record button pressed, we can scale the eyes up and down. Like so. And I did both eyes, and bloop bloop. It's very cool. I went for this frog eye blinking effect. I like it. Next, let's go to the general group, and at the beginning of the timeline, again we make sure that the record button is pressed, and I want to look for scale and move, just like we did for the eyes. But this time we're just moving the group up and down above the legs, because I'm looking for that retro vibe, like in all the video game characters that they're bobbing up and down. And here we go, we've got all the keyframes, we can play it back, and voila, MASSATL is finally alive. And since you're here in the deep end with me, I think you deserve to hear this. You are the reason why I do these videos. You're the absolute best. If you've got a request, just drop it in the comments and I'll address it. Otherwise, subscribe if you haven't already, and see you in the next one.
It looks simple, but there's actually a lot behind it. And in this video, I want to show you each step of the process. Blah, 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 blah.